Hey everyone, and welcome to Offstage, a 20-minute conversation with students, hobbyists, and professionals from the world of music about music with me, your host Anagh. And today I have guests Srishti and Saakshi. Hey guys, how are you doing?
Hey, we're doing really well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks for asking. So, to start off, of course, you guys are involved in music. Both of you are been students at Octavium for quite a long time. So, other than that, could you guys give a little bit of an introduction to yourselves, Srishti?
Sure. So, like you mentioned, my name is Srishti. I'm 20 years old. I've been singing for a long, long time now. I also picked up the guitar, the bass, and the ukulele, and I'm hoping to pick up the saxophone.
Nice. Saxophone would be very interesting to see.
Yeah, it's about finding the right mentor, I think, right now.
Yeah. Sakshi?
I'm 19 years old. I've been learning the drums for about 8 years. I started off my whole drum journey at Octavium,
Hmm.
and I'm doing well at best right now.
Nice. Okay, so we'll get into the drums and guitar and vocals aspect a little later. But for now, I want to know what generally piqued your interest in music as a hobby, because a lot of people would pick sport, a lot of people pick sports, a lot of people pick arts, a lot of people have different hobbies, but you guys chose music. And my biggest question is why? What made you want to choose music? Srishti?
I think it's because we were exposed to a lot of great music since infancy, and again, I'm
Hmm.
not exaggerating when I say it. The Beatles, RHCP, Pink
Hmm.
Floyd, etc. All of these guys, we grew up listening to them, and I think that had a huge influence on, how we feel about music. Because
Hmm.
even now, if you come to our place, that you will not find a quiet room. Everyone's either playing something or singing or listening. There isn't a moment of silence in our house, and I say that very honestly.
Hmm.
And like I said, I think it has a lot. I think a lot of credit goes to my dad for exposing me to a lot of
Hmm.
music growing up. And as I mentioned to you earlier, there
Hmm.
are multiple little anecdotes of my dad telling me about how I was a 3-year-old asking him to play Californication, and that just wasn't an acceptable thing for a 3-year-old to say. Like imagine coming up to you and saying, "Can you play Californication?" So those aren't words that should be leaving a toddler's mouth.
Right.
Also, my mom constantly teases me and likes to embarrass me by saying,
Hmm.
"Oh, Shrishti, when you were a kid, you wanted to marry David Gilmour and call him Honey." So he's big things for you. It's a
Uh,
big condition for you that you had to call him Honey. But
hmm.
I think that speaks to. I personally think that speaks to great taste. Wanting to marry David Gilmour at such a young age.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people pick, Harry Styles, Justin Bieber. You
No,
pick David Gilmour.
it had Harry Styles much later on.
I did. I
Ah.
did at that stage, but Gilmour.
Oh, but Gilmour was one, and that's a good thing.
OG. I was
Yeah,
3 to 5-year-old who wanted to marry David Gilmour. So
yeah. And I see Beatles poster behind you guys. This is very nice.
Yeah,
And Sakshi, what about you? Was it the same for you, or was it slightly different?
it's the same. A lot of the credit goes to my dad. Like,
Hmm.
majorly influenced my taste in music. Everything he listens to, even if it's in a Beatles, Pink Floyd,
Hmm.
definitely a lot of it.
Nice. Nice, nice. So now we'll get into your instruments and vocals. So Shrishti and Sakshi, why did you guys pick specifically Shrishti guitar, vocals, and Sakshi drums? And I want to say, Sakshi, you picked drums. Good choice. Being a first choice drummer myself, I'm also a guitarist and bassist. So Shrishti, you did a good job. Shrishti's sitting over there angry, like, oh my god.
too little, too late. Too little, too late.
Anyway, moving on. So, Srishti, tell me. Yes.
Okay, so this is something that I think I've been asked a lot about when I started to sing, etc.
Hmm.
And frankly, I think I learned how to sing before I learned how to speak.
Yeah.
Either way, I haven't shut up since my mouth is open. Podcast being a great example of that. But yeah, I've been singing for the longest time now. I think I have a video of a 1.5 to 3-year-old me singing something. Maybe I think what the song आपस में भी song में one. किसी की मुस्कुराहटों पे हो निसार.
Okay.
I have a video of toddler me singing, and like I think and I've been singing since then. I think my parents also figured out that I have a voice very suited to singing, and I think
Yeah.
I developed it really well because they gave me the opportunity to do that. So I've stuck with it, and plus
Yeah.
like it's great release for when I'm frustrated or when I have a lot of energy because I can actually modulate it in a way that it doesn't come out as yelling, and it's not fun for me to express myself that way.
Yeah, and I think as a lot of people saw in the reel teasers we put on Friday and Thursday, what a great singer you are. So that turned out great. Yes, yes, of course. And Sakshi, what about you? Why did you choose drums?
So, people around me kind of figured that I had a sense of rhythm.
Hmm.
Maybe it was something to do with us being obsessed with the cup song, or just like me kind of drumming on my desk or whatever.
Right.
So that I kind of joined Octavium after that.
Ah, okay, nice. So, like you just brought up, you joined Octavium after that. So, of course, there are a lot of music schools that you can choose from, and I want to know how you guys came across Octavium and why did you choose? Like, okay, I've found out that there's this place called Octavium, and now I want to learn here. Srishti?
So I think it was a family friend, dad's very close friend that recommended Octavium to us. And of course, proximity was a major factor because he was still very young. Considering we joined almost a decade ago, we were pretty young.
Right.
And proximity played a huge factor because somebody had to pick us up, we had to be dropped off.
Hmm.
We had to come a long way. But yeah, I mean, so we walked into Octavium, I think, one day for trial classes. Or I'm not really sure how it went. I don't remember. It's a matter of the past, a really long time ago. So, one thing I do remember is that it instantly felt like home because people were so welcoming and everyone was so supportive of wanting to pursue something, and everyone, I think they more inspired and motivated us to go with it because I remember my first mentor was Sneha, and she really taught me to open up my voice and everything, and she was very encouraging. I think that was one of the biggest things there. And I felt like personally, with the faculty, they were more friends than teachers because it was so easy to have a conversation with them. They didn't condescend to you; they actually listened to you. And I remember from from the people that were there till from like when I joined till last time I actually walked into Octavium. Everyone's been so great, like Sneha and Rishi, Priya and Rick, Cyril, everyone. It's been so great to get to know them. It's been a lot of fun throughout. So I think there was never a question of why not this place or why another place.
Right. That's really nice to hear, and now I'm really glad that Octavium's opened up again for in-person classes to feel that nice homey vibe, like you were saying. And Sakshi, what about you?
So wait, the question was why Octavium, right?
Why Octavium, and yeah, basically, and if there's anything to add to what Srishti said, because I mean, both of you would have pretty much the same reason.
Yeah, what Srishti said. Octavium was like honestly. After the first day.
Srishti covered up everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll ask you something slightly different then, just for you. One thing which would be a great question to ask. Both of you are sisters, and you guys have to live with each other. So, how was it like living with each other, especially you being a drummer? And so like Srishti saying, there's always some music or some sounds going around in the house. So, I think you can speak a little bit about that, being the drummer.
I think some days she would, most of the days now, she'd wake up to me like drumming, practicing on the field, a little annoyed, and I'd wake up to her playing the guitar like really good by my side. But like, it's not negative. It's very fun. We jam a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, we're both the kind who kind of want an audience, so we just sit and bother each other. But if you can't bother family, who can you bother, right?
Yeah, and I think if there are any people watching and they have like siblings, then both of you should learn music. It'll be lots of fun in the house, especially when you're learning different instruments.
For sure. And speaking of bothering family, I think in this context, we made the entire complex our family here. We live in an apartment complex. We made the entire complex our family because if people don't hear us playing something, they'll come up to us and be like,
"Are you okay?
What happened?
Yeah.
We're not hearing any music coming out of your house. I don't hear you singing anymore. I can't hear the drums anymore." So, we acclimatized everyone in the apartment to hearing us at this point. We made everyone an unwilling audience, but they've also been extremely supportive, actually.
Yeah, that's great. I think one of the best things to have, especially when you're playing music and drums, is having supportive neighbors. Because if the neighbors are not supportive, it can be a really big headache.
Yeah.
So, of course, you guys mentioned that you guys have been learning for a really long time. And this question, I will make sure Saakshi also can talk a little bit. So, I want to know a little bit about some experiences you guys had, both at Octavium and outside Octavium, that have happened in the past 8 years. Like, mostly music related, of course, because it's a music talk show podcast. But yeah, generally, what are some fun experiences and even both the learning experiences and just fun experiences that you guys have had since you've started learning music?
Oh boy, this is a trip down memory lane, isn't it?
Yes,
Wow.
exactly.
Okay, 8 years ago. 1 second. So, go on, you start.
Yeah.
Like sometime around like third year of drumming,
Hmm.
and I was introduced to time tuning.
Right.
Initially, I found it so tough to wrap my head around it. But once I got the hang of it, I've been so obsessed with it. Like every song I listen to, I first had like note down the time signature that I think it is, and then I do the lyrics, and then like I verify it. And I just find it very fun.
Hmm.
That was like very satisfying to me. Like the fact that I was able to understand the concept. Because like many people I don't feel it. And then I'm still like struggling to like get the hang of it.
Right.
But I think time signatures is something I found it very fun.
That's a very interesting take on it, but I like it. Srishti, have you thought about something to say?
I've thought about a lot to say.
Let's hear it. I can't wait to hear it.
Okay, so like speaking about at Octavium, I've had 3 mentors now. I've had Sneha, Bhavna, and Arindam.
Hmm.
And I think each of them had a very unique teaching style, like none were the same.
Hmm.
You know, Sneha, I learned Western classical, semi-classical at the time, right? And very different approach to singing to me, but it definitely got me to where I am right now, because I think everyone that hears me sing immediately goes, oh wow, you have a really powerful voice, and I think, you know, that's who I really do owe credit to. I really give her credit to that, because it really opened up my voice. And I remember because of learning Western classical at one point, I was just practicing at my classmates' place, and they're all Italian pieces. I'm belting my vocals, I'm going, etc., whatever, right? Wherever
Right.
I'm always like, I'm always like, Srishti, what happened? what happened? And it was a very funny experience. And, you know, when I moved on to Bhavna, I was a lighter curriculum. And, you know, again, very different learning experience. Again, a lot of fun. And with Arindam, you know, I was his first female student, and I remember him saying that he's like, oh, I've never taught girls before. And it was a more rock-oriented curriculum. And
Right.
people referred me to Arindam and everything, and it was a lot of fun. I think, you know, throughout, I made a lot of friends at Octavium, which was exciting. And outside of Octavium also, it's been such a journey. I mean, I don't think I would have ever started playing at live at open mics or, you know, playing like, you know, these smaller gigs because nothing better, right? But I don't think I would have done it without Octavium. It's been such a ride. I don't think I would have enjoyed concerts as much as I used to after Octavium.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. So, of course, as we're coming to the ending part of this episode, I would like to know, of course, you guys, like, I've said this like 100 times now, but you guys have been learning music for a long time. You guys clearly enjoy it. So, what would you say to people who are either thinking about picking up music as a hobby or are like little hesitant, or if there's anything you would like to say to people who are just having the thought of like saying, okay, I want to pick up a hobby and I'm thinking of picking up music, whether it be drums, whether it be guitar, whether it be, you know, vocals, piano, whatever. Srishti, Saakshi, who wants to go first? Yeah.
Go for it. You have so much to learn. It's so fun.
Yeah, largely along the same lines, you know, I'd say definitely pick it up. I don't think you'll ever regret taking up music. I think that's something you absolutely enjoy throughout. And it's something you'll carry with you know, because music can be such a relief. Music is so therapeutic. You never know how much you need it until you've actually tried it. You know, once you pick it up, you realize you actually connect with the side of yourself you probably need always there. So definitely go for it, don't hesitate, don't hesitate. And you can't find a better place than Octavium, you know.
Oh. Yeah, and I think also to add to that is when you learn music, also you get to perform and you get to play for people, and I think that experience is, you know, something in itself, which is a lot of fun to do for the first time, and then of course do multiple times. Of course, the first time you'll be slightly nervous because you never perform in front of many people, and then over time you have more fun, and then it becomes just a enjoyable experience to just play for people.
Yep.
Saying
And-
it, sorry.
Hmm?
Were you saying something? I think I cut you off.
No. I pretty much concluded. And yeah, I mean, it's generally a lot of fun, whether you play it for other people or even playing for yourself. Yeah. So to conclude, I want to know if there's anything you guys want to plug, social medias, YouTube channels, anything.
I don't know why neither of us really put out anything. We jam a lot, we sing, but yeah, I mean,
We haven't like started anything.
I think once
Yeah.
there's something worthwhile, we can be
Yeah.
down and be like, hey, Anagh, promote. But
Of course. I mean, if you guys want to, I can't wait to see what you guys have to put up. And of course, doing stuff together would be a lot of fun.
I
And
have a question for you, actually.
oh, this is a question for me.
Yeah, what can I say? I find it.
Nice. Go ahead.
So you've obviously been associated with Octavium for I don't know how long, as Octavium's been in existence, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of all the people that come to Octavium, all the people that you've met? Like,
Huh.
tell us about us. We're a little bit
I met first time I met you guys was I don't know how long back. It was quite a while back. But initially, I remember I was like, oh, not just students and mentors. Everyone is really friendly, and everyone's always willing to say hi, introduce themselves, getting to know each other. You form a little people form different little communities, and there's like when you meet people you gel with, and you find other musicians that you like. You form bands, and I think it's really just an experience in itself, just the connections and the people you meet at Octavium or in general. And yeah, I think I have never had any bad experiences or anything. Everyone's been really great and really friendly, really nice. Both mentors, the atmosphere has always been there. Of course, it was a bit bumpy during the pandemic. Everything was online, but now yeah, it's all kick-starting again, and I really love it there. It's always vibrant. There's music playing. There's people talking. There's people forming connections. There's new people coming in. Old people who've been learning for a long time coming in. People coming in and out. And yeah, even with people leaving and new people joining, there's always that energy, which is always something that's great to see. And yeah, I think that's something that has stuck since Octavium has started. It has not died down even a little bit.
I think there are certain friendships that we carry with us for a long, long time.
Yeah.
I know I've made a lot of friends there that I would.
Yeah. I mean, all the friends that I have formed, pretty much every single person that has been on this talk show / podcast, so far, I have become friends with them, and I've got to know them because of Octavium. Otherwise, it would not have happened. And when you form your own circle of friends in the music circle, and then you have your friend circle, it's just a completely different experience. And unlike friend circles, this time you have a definite common ground, and that common ground is music.
Yeah, very true, very true. I don't know if you know this, but I've become Anagh's academic counselor somehow.
Yeah.
I think you got HEBB, which is what I did in CJC also, and then I've
Yeah.
Christ admissions the other day only.
Yeah, Srishti's been a little bit of a person I've gone to for advice and in general stuff when it comes to academic stuff, especially in Christ.
You should.
I will. I'm going to keep bugging you.
Feel free. I'm not somebody who's ever going to say no to helping you out, I'm thinking back to that picture of a platter you sent from 3 dots and a dash, and I'm still thinking about that for some reason. I don't know. Maybe very jealous.
Okay, so thank you everyone for watching. This was episode 8 of Offstage, and I had lots of fun. And thank you, Srishti and Saakshi, for joining me in this episode.
Thank
Thank
you for
you,
having
Anagh.
us.
Yeah.
Of course, I love it. I love having people over, and it was great having you guys over. So thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you in the next episode of Offstage.
Yeah, catch you soon.
Bye.
You guys,
Yes.
thank you. Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Of course.
Privilege.